Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 21. We are hearing the Gopīs appreciating the song of Krishna's flute and how they are feeling the separation. They are saying even the demigoddesses or the doe, the wife of the deer is better than us. That their husbands are allowing them to see Krishna. We are so unfortunate that our husbands are so jealous of Krishna. They don't allow us to see him. Going on. Gavas Krishna Mukhanirgatavenu Gita
गावश्च कृष्णा मुखनिर्गतवेणुगीता
Piyusham Udbhed Karnapute Pibyantah
पीयूषम् उद्भित् कर्णपुटे पिबन्तय
Shava Snutastana Payakavala Smatashtur
शावास्नुतयस्तना पयकवलास्मतस्तूर्
Govindam Atmani Drish Ashukalas Prishyanta Tyaha.
गोविन्दमात्मनि दृश अशुकला स्पृशन्तयः.
Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Using their upraised ears as vessels, the cows are drinking the nectar of the flute song flowing out of Krishna's mouth. The calves, their mouths full of milk from their mother's moist nipples, stand still as they take Govinda within themselves through their tear-filled eyes and embrace him within their hearts. So the gopis are saying how the cows, they're hearing Krishna's song. They open their ears so wide. Yeah, when we want to hear something, we open our ears wide. So they've upraised, the cows have opened their ears. They want to hear the nectar of Krishna's flute. And the calves, they're drinking the milk, but because they're hearing such beautiful uh, flute music here, they're so stunned. Although there's milk in their mouth, they're standing still. uh, They stop. They're not even swallowing the milk which is in their mouth. They just stop. So much ecstasy. They're looking at Govinda. Govinda, he gives pleasure to the cows, right? So they're looking at them with tears in their eyes. And how are they embracing him?
In their heart.
Within their heart.
Within
And
their
by looking at him with their eyes, they're crying, and with their heart, they are embracing within their heart. So with the eyes, they're embracing him within the heart. There's also this description when Krishna comes back to Dwarka from Hastinapur. The queens are so happy to see him. So, but as soon as they see him, because of social etiquette, they can't embrace him outright because so many people are there. Then they embrace him. They're looking at him and they embrace him in their heart. Ayopadamba vihaga manayo vanesman
प्रायोपताम्बा विहगामुनयो वनेऽस्मिन्
Krishne Krishne kshitam tad uditam kalavenu geetam
कृष्णायक्षितं तद् उदितं कलवेणुगीतम्
Aruyat druma bhujan Ruchira Pravalan
आरुह ये ध्रुमा भुजान रुचिर प्रवालान
Shanvanti Milta Drisho Vigatanyavacha.
शृण्वन्ति मीलितदृशो विगत अन्यवाचः.
O mother, in this forest all the birds have risen onto the beautiful branches of the trees to see Krishna. With closed eyes, they are simply listening in silence to the sweet vibrations of his flute, and they're not attracted by any other sound. Surely these birds are on the same level as great sages. The birds resemble sages because they live in the forest, keep their eyes closed, observe silence, and remain motionless. Significantly, it is stated here that even great sages become maddened by the sound of Krishna's flute, which is a completely spiritual vibration. So, the gopis are saying the birds are sitting on the branches, and the trees are looking so beautiful, and the birds are sitting there. And like in meditation, they're closing their eyes and they are listening to Krishna's flute. Close the eyes and listen deeply. Sometimes we may do that, no? And they're listening so deeply that they don't hear anything else. So that's why the gopis are saying it looks like they are like the sages. You know how the sages, they close their eyes, they're chanting a mantra, complete and absorbed in the meditation. They're saying, "Oh mother." Hmm? Who are they speaking to? They're speaking to amongst themselves, right? The different gopis are saying different verses. Yeah. However, Ruchira Pravalan indicates that even the branches of the trees are transformed in ecstasy when struck by the vibration of Krishna's flute song. Indra, Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, being primordial gods, travel throughout the universe and have extensive knowledge of the science of music. And yet, even these great personalities have never heard or composed music like that which emanates from Krishna's flute. Indeed, the birds are so moved by the blissful sound that in their ecstasy they close their eyes and cling to the branches to avoid falling off the trees. So the branches are also looking so beautiful by hearing Krishna's flute. And the demigods, they're great demigods, Indra, Brahma, Shiva, great rulers of the universe, creator of the universe. Even they don't know how to make such beautiful music. So, and the birds are sitting, they're holding the branches tightly. Why they may just fall down, in the ecstasy of just hearing Krishna's flute. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that the gopis would sometimes address each other as Amba, mother. Here's the explanation. Sometimes they're calling each other Mother Amba.
Or like how here, right? They call each other Mataji.
Mataji. Yeah, yeah,
So it looks like everyone is enchanted, huh? Whoever is there in the forest or nearby that vicinity, all enchanted by his flute, huh? By Krishna's flute.
yeah, yeah. Everyone's enchanted, yeah. And everyone is so much ecstatic hearing his flute. Yeah. How would we react? How would we be when we hear Krishna's flute? Hopefully one day.
So, yeah, one is in ecstasy, I guess. So,
Yeah. Hopefully one day we can hear Krishna's flute. It sounds nice, no?
Yeah, sounds very nice. Like how everybody is happy. and they are deeply meditating on the flute of Krishna.
I think like you're in bliss. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in bliss, and they're like, you know, like how fortunate. I'm also thinking like gopis are thinking for the deers, that how
Yeah.
fortunate they are. Even I'm thinking that how fortunate they are. Even the birds, the branches. So like how we say that जो
Everything.
पक्षी है वृंदावन में वो भी बहुत पक्षी नहीं वृक्ष वृंदावन का वृक्ष भी बहुत बड़े बड़े मुनि हैं और बहुत भाग्यवान है फॉर्चुनेट है जैसा हम बोलते हैं कि दे आर देयर क्योंकि
But
कृष्णा
वो
है
भी बोलते हैं ना कि when you if a person passes the body in Vrindavan is already like right?
या
क्या कर
दे आर वेरी
fortunate, so
फॉर्चुनेट
fortunate. Yeah.
लाइक हाउ दीज ट्रीज लाइक कृष्णा ने उनको हक किया होगा कभी ना कभी वहां पर आए होंगे बैठे होंगे एंड
Mm.
सो यस
Yeah.
वाह
नद्यस्तदा तत् उपधार्य मुकुन्द गीतम्
नस्तदा तद उपधार्य मुकुंद गीतम
आवर्तलक्षितमनुभव भग्नवेगा
आवर्तो लक्षितः मनुभव भगन वेगः
आलिङ्गनस्थगितम् ऊर्मिभुजैर्मुरारे
आलिंगनस्तगितम् उर्मिभुजे मुरारे
गृह्णन्ति पादयुगलं कमलो कमलोपहार.
रहन्ति पादयुग्लं कमलोपहारा.
When the rivers hear the flute song of Krishna, their minds begin to desire him, and thus the flow of their current is broken, and the waters are agitated, moving around in whirlpools. Then, with the arms of their waves, the rivers embrace Murari's lotus feet, and, holding on to them, present offerings of lotus flowers. Such sacred bodies of water as the Yamuna and the Manasa Ganga are enchanted by the flute song, and thus they are disturbed by conjugal attraction for young Krishna. The gopis are implying that since many different types of living beings are overwhelmed by conjugal love for Krishna, why should the gopis be criticized for their intense desire to serve Krishna in the conjugal relationship? So the gopis are saying even the rivers, the Yamuna, the Manasa Ganga, they are so affected by hearing the flute song. Then what they are doing, that they are embracing Krishna's lotus feet with their arms. Their waters are agitated, going round and round because they're so ecstatic. They're so ecstatic. And they're offering, it's like they're offering lotuses to Krishna. Gopis are saying, see, even the rivers love Krishna so much. So why can't we love Krishna? Why are we criticized? Everyone loves Krishna. Everyone is so much in ecstasy because of love for Krishna. So why are we criticized if we want to love Krishna in conjugal relationship? Drishtva tape vraj pashun sah Rama gope
दृष्ट्वा तपे व्रज पशून् सह राम गोपे
sancharayantam anuvenum udirayantam
सञ्चारयन्तम् अणुवेणुम् उदीरयन्तम्
prem pravrida udita kusum avalibihi
प्रेम प्रवद उदित कुसुम आवलीभिः
sakyur vyadhat swapashu ambuda atpatram.
सख्यु व्यर्धात् स्ववपुषा अम्बुध आत्पत्रम्
In the company of Balaram and the cowherd boys, Lord Krishna is continually vibrating his flute as he herds all the animals of Raj, even under the full heat of the summer sun. Seeing this, the cloud in the sky has expanded himself out of love. He is rising high and constructing out of his own body, with its multitude of flower-like droplets of water, an umbrella for the sake of his friend. Srila Prabhupada states in his Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the scorching heat of the autumn sunshine was sometimes intolerable, and therefore the clouds in the sky appeared in sympathy above Krishna and Balaram and their boyfriends while they engaged in blowing their flutes. The clouds served as a soothing umbrella over their heads just to make friendship with Krishna. Gopis are saying, see, even the clouds love Krishna so much that they are covering Krishna, Balaram, and the other cowherd boys from the heat of the autumn sun. Urna Pulindya Urugaya Padapcharaka
पूर्णा पुलिन्द्या उरुगाय पदं वज्राग
Shri Kunkumena Daitastanamanditena
श्री कुङ्कुमेनादयितस्तन्मण्डितेन
Tadarshana Smara Rujas Trinarushitena
तद्दर्शनास्मररुजतृण्रूषितेन
Limpantya An Anana. What's it? Anna
आनन् कुचेषु
Anand
आनन् कुचेषु
Limpantya Anand Kucheshu Jahustad Adhim.
लिम्पन्त्य आनन् कुचेषु जहु तद् आधिम्.
The aborigine women of the Vrindavan area become disturbed by lust when they see the grass marked with reddish kumkum powder. Endowed with the color of Krishna's lotus feet, this powder originally decorated the breasts of his beloveds. And when the aborigine women smear it on their faces and breasts, they feel fully satisfied and give up all their anxiety. Srila Prabhupada explains this verse as follows. The wanton aborigine girls also become fully satisfied when they smeared their faces and breasts with the dust of the Vrindavan, which was reddish from the touch of Krishna's lotus feet. So this is coming from Srila Prabhupada's explanation, that there were these aborigine girls also, and living outside the village. The people were living outside the village. So these girls, what they would do, they'll see this reddish dust, which is there down on the ground, and then they put this dust on their face and their breast, on reddish from the touch of Krishna's lotus feet. So the aborigine girls had very full breasts and they were also very lusty. But when their lovers felt their breasts, they were not very satisfied. When they came out into the midst of the forest, they saw that while Krishna was walking, some of the leaves and creepers of Vrindavan had turned reddish from the kumkum powder which fell from his lotus feet. So Krishna's feet had kumkum powder. That kumkum powder has fallen on the ground and they're putting this dust on their breasts and they're feeling so satisfied. Otherwise, nothing could satisfy them. Now, why were Krishna's feet reddish with kumkum powder? Because his lotus feet were held by the Gopīs on their breasts, which were also smeared with kumkum powder. So when Krishna traveled in the Vrindavan forest with Balaram and his boyfriends, the reddish powder fell on the ground. So it seems the gopis would put red kumkum powder on their breasts. Don't know why, but anyway, they have this. And then they put Krishna's lotus feet on their breasts. And they feel their breasts are so hard that Krishna's lotus feet are so tender that they'll get hurt. The gopis feel that. They say, how Krishna, you're walking in the forest without any shoes. There's so many stones, pebbles. There's your feet, which we are even afraid that our breasts are so hard for you, and you're walking on this road, not even road, in the forest. So the lusty Aborigine girls, while looking toward Krishna playing his flute, saw the reddish kumkum on the ground and immediately took it and smeared it over their faces and breasts. In this way, they became fully satisfied, although they were not satisfied when their lovers touched their breast. So their lovers also could not satisfy them, but they are satisfied by putting this dust on their breast, dust from lotus feet of Krishna. All material lusty desires can be immediately satisfied if one comes in contact with Krishna consciousness. So all material lusty desires, Prabhupada is saying, can be immediately satisfied if one comes in contact with Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there is no way to satisfy this material lust. But by hearing about Krishna, chanting his names, remembering him, all our desires will be satisfied, no matter how strong they are.
Hare
How
Krishna,
many
Shilpa ji.
questions?
I was thinking, like before reading this, when you said that the bridge became Raj, Raj became reddish, and I thought that because the alta, right? And maybe because his feet was as red as the lotus flower, so it was. But yeah, this is something different. So yeah,
Yeah.
nothing like that. Yeah. But like so much love, right? So much love. I'm just thinking that
Yeah.
gopis, when like they had so much love and how much viraha they had, like from Krishna, how much they were longing for Krishna every moment, and still they never like gave up or nothing. They were remembering anything they are seeing, the birds they are seeing, and they are comparing it to the munis. That look, they are like the munis, they can remember Krishna. और हमारे तो
Yeah.
सामने कृष्णा के डेटी है तो भी हम नहीं कर पाते हैं, मतलब हमें तो कोई मना नहीं कर रहा है, हमारे को तो पता है, राइट?
Yeah.
तो भी हम नहीं कर पा रहे, उन्हें तो पता नहीं था, मतलब उन्हें तो ऐसे था ना कि भाई कृष्णा भगवान नहीं है, कृष्णा को वो कर,
हमारे हैं.
हाँ हाँ, तो हमें तो एटलीस्ट ये पता है, तो भी हम नहीं कर पा रहे। आई एम थिंकिंग दैट, तो मतलब कितना हमारा वो है कि हमें तो पता है कि यही हमारे गोल है, सब कुछ यही है, तो भी हम नहीं कर पा रहे। हमारे तो
Yeah.
हस्बैंड को भी पता है, राइट?
Yeah.
तो भी हम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं ना, तो मतलब क्या ही बोले हमारे लिए तो।
Yeah. Okay. Let's stop here. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, हरे कृष्ण।